It's Championship Saturday at Interbay Stadium. It's the 2024 Great Northwest Athletic Conference Women's Soccer Championships, and it's an instant classic that we'll see for the second year in a row. It's the number 3 seed Simon Fraser Red Leafs, the reigning tournament champions, and the number 1 seed Western Washington Vikings, your 2024 regular season champion and 6-time tournament champion. Hi again, everybody. Evan O'Kelly with you, and couldn't be more excited to bring what figures to be a thrilling match from start to finish. It certainly was between these two sides last year in Ellensburg, Washington, when Simon Fraser got the late winner from Reagan McKenzie to claim its first ever GNAC tournament trophy and upset the Vikings. Western Washington has been the model of success in the GNAC over the last decade plus. 6 of these conference tournament titles, 10 regular season titles, and of course the ultimate prize, 2 NCAA Division II national titles as well. Western Washington has set the tone. They've been here perennially, and they're in the championship tilt once again against Simon Fraser. This is a long-standing series between these two teams that are just over the border from one another, Bellingham to Burnaby, not counting any delays at the border, is just about 30 minutes in terms of the mileage, and they've met 60 times since 1986. September 7th, to be exact, that year was the first ever meeting, and it was Western Washington with a 2-1 triumph that day. The Vikings lead the all-time series, 39 wins against 18 losses. There have been 3 draws between the teams. If there's a 4th draw today, we would settle this championship with a penalty kick shootout. This will be the 6th time that these teams have met in postseason play. Of course, most recently was November 11th of 2023, just over 1 calendar year ago, when Simon Fraser picked up the 2-1 win. An early goal by Isabella Mussolini, and then an equalizer from last night's hero for the Vikings, Micah Carr. But it was SFU with the last laugh. It was Reagan McKenzie, who is just the second freshman in GNAC history to earn the championship's MVP award. And that came after she scored the most important goal, the game winner in the title tilt, with just over 10 minutes left last fall. The other freshman to win the GNAC Championship's MVP will also be on the pitch today. That's Morgan Manalili for Western Washington. She's a junior now, but in 2022, she was the tournament MVP her freshman year, before, of course, leading these Vikings on to a national title. So each of the last 2 tournament winners are duking it out again. Last year's title, the first for Simon Fraser. In 2022, the Vikings claimed their 6th. That's the most of any GNAC team. This is the 12th rendition of the conference tournament. It was founded in 2012. The Vikings have won 6 of them, Seattle Pacific 3, and 1 each for Simon Fraser and former conference member Concordia. Other playoff meetings between these teams, 2 other times at the GNAC Championships, both of those were won by Western Washington. None of these players were in college yet. November 1st, 2018, it was the Vikings 2-1 in the semifinals in Portland, Oregon. And November 3rd, 2016, it was the Vikings 3-0 on Simon Fraser's home turf in Burnaby. The other playoff meeting was in the Pacific Northwest Athletic Conference Championships on November 5th, 1994. That's the first time these teams met in the playoffs. The Vikings won that one 3-1. So Western Washington, all told, is 4-1 in playoff games. And the Red Leafs have the most recent of those victories, the 2-1 triumph in last year's title game. This season, the series belonged to Western Washington. A 1-0 win on September 26th and a 1-0 win on October 19th. As I mentioned, these teams have met 60 times prior to today. And while Western does hold the decisive advantage, 39-18 and 3, been sort of a tale of 2 sections, if you will, in the series history. From 1986 to 2005, in the first 28 matches, Simon Fraser went 17-10-1. So they had the upper hand across the first section of meetings between the teams. From 2008 onward, though, it's been pure domination from Western Washington. 29 wins, just one loss in last year's championship game and 2 draws. So it's been almost all Vikings since 2008. And not only have the results gone their way, but 76 goals for and 7 against for Western Washington in the last 32 meetings between these teams. So Simon got over the hump last year when it counted most and got their first win over Western since 2008. They'll try and do it again today. Starters just about ready to make their way onto the pitch. Isaiah Magston, our center referee today. Assistants are Alex Magston, Isabel Trujillo, and Christine Suter. Going to be similar lineups for these teams as they rolled out on Thursday. First for Simon Fraser, which put together a sound 2-0 victory over tournament host Seattle Pacific. It was Kira Scott with both goals for the Red Leafs, and she will be in the starting lineup again today at forward alongside Michaela Tupper and the freshman, the GNAC freshman of the year, I should add, Dariela Lopez. The midfield captain, Kate Cartier, is in that unit alongside the GNAC co-player of the year, Isabella Mussolini, and Alyssa Clark, who had a couple of assists in the match on Thursday as well. On the back line for SFU, it's the Smith sisters, Kate Smith and her big sister Emily, who was named the GNAC Defensive Player of the Year. They link up with Elise Beaudry and the Red Leafs' other captain, Katie Richardson. Sarah Lowen, who had 7 saves on Thursday. Magnificent performance in goal. 7th shutout of the year. She's in the starting lineup as well. Red Leafs are led by Carlo Basso in his 2nd season in charge. And he's 2 for 2 in getting his team to the GNAC title game. Travis Cannell, meanwhile, 22nd year, nothing new for him. He's won this event 6 times and gone on to win it all twice. His starting lineup from back to front starts with Abigail Trengove, the senior, in goal. Defensively, they've got Asia Hardin and Hallie Noel, the 2 captains, as well as Olivia Connell, who had the equalizer on Thursday in the Vikings' 3-1 win over Western Oregon, a comeback win. And Emily Rice, the 4th defender for Western Washington. Mia Cairns, the standout sophomore in the midfield, along with Lydia Myers and Morgan Manalili in the starting lineup as well. And in the attack for Western, Jane Mira and the freshman Emily Holdridge, who had 2 assists on Thursday. And up top, the GNAC newcomer of the year, Kirsten McGuffey. It was Micah Carr, the senior, who was the hero for the Vikings on Thursday. 2 goals within 3 minutes just after halftime, and Western never looked back after that. Western Oregon had to push forward, but the Vikings kept the press on and never left any doubt that they'd be headed back to the title game. So here we are. What's at stake? Well, a GNAC trophy, but also an automatic bid into next week's NCAA West Region Championships. The winner of this match advances to the regionals. Simon trying to get there for the 2nd year in a row. Western had a long streak of regionals snapped last year with their championship match loss, so they're trying to get back for the first time since they won it all in 2022. 14 players on Western Washington's roster were on that NCAA title team in 2022, so they've got the experience. Speaking of experience, a lot of these players have played in both last year's championship title match as well as the other time these teams met recently in the GNAC tournament on November 3rd, 2022, and the Vikings won 3-0. 7 Red Leafs were on both rosters, and 8 Vikings were on both rosters each of the last 2 years. So for the veterans on these groups, it's been a familiar match in the playoffs. The 2022 contest was in the semifinal round. Last year's, of course, in the finals. But they know each other well. There's no secrets between these teams. They know what they're going to get. They know the style of play. And just as we had last year, expecting to see a thrilling match here just moments away. We'll bring you O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner. And then we'll have GNAC Women's Soccer Championships, the finals, coming right up. It's chilly. It's rainy. It's championship soccer in the Emerald City. Good crowd on hand for today's match. Plenty of Viking faithful and plenty of Red Leaf fans who have made the journey down to Seattle's Interbay Soccer Stadium. The sight of joy And tears for both of these teams. Of course, the Vikings in 2022 took home the national title on this field. It's not their home field by any means, but when you get to a national stage, to be able to play just 2 hours or less from your home city sure felt like a home atmosphere for their 2022 title. And, of course, last year, the site of the regional match where Simon's dream campaign came to a close, a penalty kick shootout loss. Lots of fond memories for both of these programs on this pitch and against one another. More of those to come today. More heartbreak as well. It's what you love about a championship tournament. Final discussions, final words of wisdom in the team huddles. They'll break it up. And we've been waiting for 2 days to kick this one off. You'd better be bundled up if you're a spectator out there, but for the players, adrenaline taking over. Can't imagine they're feeling cold at all. They're warmed up and ready to go. The Vikings in the all-black kits. Abigail Trengov wearing the forest green in goal. They'll move from right to left. Simon Fraser, meanwhile, the white tops and the cherry shorts. And Sarah Lowen wearing the sea green keeper kit. It'll be SFU to kick off. The freshman Dariela Lopez getting some final instructions from her fellow senior striker, Michaela Tupper. Final match of the 2024 GNAC Women's Soccer Championships. And off we go. Red Leafs start direct, and now the Vikings on the counter. An early chance, perhaps, for Emily Holdridge. It's on target. And Sarah Lowen. Her first touch comes just 20 ticks into this match. Similar to Thursday, she faced a rocket of a shot just 2 minutes in, or fewer than 2 minutes in, against Seattle Pacific. We asked her about that after the match. Just getting an early touch and goal can really help out to build your confidence, even if it's a routine save. So the first strike comes from the Viking freshman, who is so sound on Thursday, involved in each of the Vikings' second and third goals, a couple assists, and she's got the early shot. Beaudry trying to release Michaela Tupper down the line. That's what Simon did quite a bit on Thursday. We'll see how the Vikings handle it. They'll be going at the two-time first-team All-GNAC defender Asia Harden down in those quarters. She's one of the very best in the league. Simon clearing. It's Back line. A couple of direct long balls by the Vikings early on in this one. Slick turf. Play the ball forward and see what happens. Holdridge, does she stay on side? She does, but it's Kate Smith who is first to it. Simon's back line drawing Seattle Pacific offside 5 times on Thursday. Key facet in the clean sheet. There's the sophomore Mia Cairns on the ball. Combining with Manalili, then Lydia Myers. This time the flag does go up on Emily Holdridge. Western Washington, 13 wins, 2 losses, 5 draws this season. That included an unblemished record of 11-0-3 in the 14-game GNAC schedule. They won the conference title for the 10th time. Simon Fraser, 13 wins as well, 3 losses and 3 draws. Of course, 2 of those losses coming to these Vikings. SFU going 8-3-3 in the league table, tying with Seattle Pacific for second place with 27 points. Holdridge keeps it in, now across. And Clark comes back to deal with it. The early pressure belonging to Western Washington. Simon Fraser trying to stay calm and deal with the high press from the Vikings. But Western with possession now. It's Cairns in the box trying to turn. Tupper trying to find a way out of it. Lopez now. Cartier creates a little space. That's the type of play you'd expect to see from a championship-level team in tight quarters there. Red Leafs finding a way out of it, now looking to push forward. One touch from Katie Richardson to the double goal scorer from Thursday, Kira Scott. And it's a deep throw-in for the Red Leafs. Scott doing it in 2 different ways on Thursday. Brilliant run on a corner kick to get herself open and nod home her first goal. And then just streaked forward on a long run on the left side of the box and tucked it off the right post and in for her second. First shot of the day comes from Scott, and it's blocked. Cartier gets stifled by Jane Muro. Olivia Connell, her first touch of the afternoon. Of course, had that important equalizing goal just before halftime Thursday, did Connell. That one coming on a set piece for the Vikings. Scott looking central. Vikings content to possess patiently as they look to build forward. Beaudry on one touch to Clark in the center, but Mira's there. Richardson being pressed by Manalili goes back to Sarah Lowen. Lopez, the freshman, working on Harden, the junior, now out wide to Tupper. Tupper working on Harden now in the corner. Another throw in for the Red Leafs. In a foot race, virtually impossible to beat Asia Harden. Beaudry looking for an option. It's Cartier. She'll switch to Katie Richardson. Space for a shot, but it's high. Simon just beginning to find its form in the attack. First spell of 5 minutes belonged to the Vikings. Now Simon with the last 3 shots. Nothing to trouble Abigail Trengove yet. Cartier winning the header. But the Vikings claiming possession only temporarily. Scott with Muzzolini streaking into the corner. Looks for the low cross, and Trengove will come out and smother it. It was Isabella Muzzolini who scored in this title match last year to give SFU the lead. Came back her senior year this fall and was voted the GNAC Co-Player of the Year. And just running out of room was Holdridge. Emily Rice now with the left-footed service towards the box, meeting the foot of Kate Smith. Holdridge curling towards the back post. Not so sure she wasn't searching for Morgan Manalili. Limited touches for Kirsten McGuffey thus far. That was one of her first, but quickly taken by Cartier. And Hallie Noel steps forward for the Vikings to clear it out. Muzzolini, does she have some space? Good recovery by Mia Cairns. Scott. And Lopez couldn't quite handle it. Good step from Jane Mira. And she's nudged to the turf by Alyssa Scott. Alyssa Clark, I should say. So Hallie Noel will provide the service. 7 assists from the defensive position on the year. It's a good ball. Rattled around in the box. Now a shot deflected and Lowen into her hands. Oh, I don't know how much she knew about it. The initial attempt from Emily Rice, I think Lowen had covered, but the Red Leafs are fortunate. Kate Cartier stuck her leg out, and this time it falls to her goalkeeper, but many times that ball can get deflected into the net. Here's a low fizzer from Lydia Myers. As a goalkeeper, you want your defense to block shots if they can, but it's the dangling leg that sometimes can derail things. Sometimes you've got a shot covered and all it takes is a tiny touch from a defender to knock it into the back of your own net. Not that time, though. Scott winning the ball. Trying to play long to Lopez into the corner. Harden going to win the race to that one. Richardson will put the ball back in play. Clark will try from distance, well wide. Clark 1 goal on the season, up to 3 assists now. After 2 on Thursday. Lowen already with 3 saves in this match. It gives her 10 here in the championship tournament. Cartier with a great ball over to Katie Richardson. Simon throwing numbers forward now and a big step from Mia Cairns. Now Elise Beaudry, dispossessed by Kirsten McGuffey. The striker coming back and doing her work defensively. Simon keeping its shape as Kate Smith pushing forward, looking for a through ball, but it's right to Olivia Connell. Vikings will win the throw-in. No score yet, 16 minutes in to the title match. Cairns out wide to McGuffey, but the offside flag's up. Very confident back unit for SFU in terms of its positioning and trust in one another. 5 offside drawn against the Falcons Thursday. That's the second one already against Western Washington this afternoon. Manalili looking for Holdridge in the corner. Lowen will go away first time with her left foot. And Simon able to keep possession. Strong step from Alyssa Clark. Noel seeking cross over the top. Read well by Lowen. She knew she could take it on a bounce. It was McGuffey and Himura streaking onward towards it. Harden elevates to win the header. And we'll have our first change of the match. Emily Holdridge will exit the pitch, and it's Sophie Bearden-Croft taking a forward position for the Vikings. Bearden-Croft has played in every match this fall, 3 goals to her name, including a 90th minute equalizer to rescue the Vikings from what would have been their only loss. It was against Seattle Pacific at the death, and that was her huge contribution among the team's unbeaten record in league play. Hardly comfortable for Sarah Lowen. The touch from Emily Smith just a little bit soft. Lowen had to get it away quick. McGuffey was right there. Tupper getting tied up with McGuffey. And the foul goes against Kirsten. Physical play there from a couple of forwards. Lopez wins the header to release Michaela Tupper, who's one-on-one with Asia Harden again. Now Emily Rice comes to help. Lopez can't get past Connell. Good touch from the Vikings center back. Needed to have that one. First touch for Sophie Bearden-Croft is a good one to win possession. Noel and Manalili with a 1-2 combination, but the through ball into the hands of Lowen. Instead, it'll be a foul, however. Noel wound up on the turf. Good break for the Vikings here. That ball was going straight to Lowen. Instead, they'll have a chance to create an opportunity here off the free kick. It'll be Noel to take it. Goes short this time on the floor to Manalili. Cleared only as far as Emily Rice, but it's Dariella Lopez who takes it away. Now the white jerseys streaking forward. Tupper on the overlap run. Clark near the back post. Trengov holds it. It's a fast Simon Fraser squad. And Tupper saw Clark all the way headed to the back post. But just too tight to the 6-yard box that time, and an easy hold for Trengev. Kate Smith tripping up Sophie Beardencroft there. Vikings looking to play quickly. Manalili towards the center. Header is won by Lydia Myers. Lowen's there. Clark being pressed by McGuffey and just gets it out to Cartier. Now Beaudry. It's a good ball. Can Katie Richardson get there? She can. 3 runners towards the box. Tupper, one time left-footed, and it curls over the crossbar. Both of these teams generating opportunities. Good vision from Kate Smith there, and a perfectly weighted ball to where only Katie Richardson could get to it. And it's a tough try for Michaela Tupper with her left foot one time. Difficult to land that one on frame. Now McGuffey. Didn't quite have room for the shot. Instead was looking for Lydia Myers. And Emily Rice is there. McGuffey one-on-one with Elise Beaudry. Looking for space for a cross. Cuts it back. McGuffey. Lowen can't hold it. Now Beardencroft. Oh, what a chance for Western Washington. McGuffey's shot doing just enough to trouble Lowen. And Simon Fraser very fortunate there that the follow-up attempt was right at their goalkeeper. Best chance of the afternoon thus far. There's the danger of Kirsten McGuffey. Travis Cannell saying she's so good off the dribble and can create space. And good persistence there. Her initial attempt was cleared right back to her, but then she created problems with her shot. Here's Muzzolini. Has it cleared by Hallie Noel. Already a dozen shots in this match between the two sides. 5 saves for Sarah Lowen. She's been busy early. And nearly had the ball wind up in the back of the net. McGuffey. Red Leafs all around her. Jane Hamira. And Cartier slides in to prevent a shot, but then it's Mia Cairns from distance. Would it fall to Myers? It does, and it's off the side netting. More questions from Western Washington. Simon will make its first changes. of the night, as will Western Abby Suchian for the Vikings. Sarah Caravata checks in, as does Reagan McKenzie. It'll be Michaela Tupper and Dariela Lopez ending their shift with 17 minutes to go before halftime. Fresh legs up top for a Simon attack that has looked good thus far. 5 shots. Yet to land one on frame, however. McKenzie knows a little bit about doing that in a championship match. She tucked one home in the waning minutes last year to win it. Clark looking to go over the top, but Noel's there. Connell puts her foot through it. Good touch from Katie Richardson right onto the foot of Clark. Kira Scott finds room to Reagan McKenzie. The cross from Beaudry is blocked by McGuffey. And Kirsten's been all over the pitch thus far, providing a spark offensively and doing well to win back possession for her team defensively. Lowen content to let her side catch its breath and find its shape. Western Washington winning 1-0 each time that these teams met during the regular season. Red Leafs yet to score on them in 2024. Beaudry's going to get the benefit of the doubt. The shove by Myers. Speaking of Myers, it was her goal on September 26th in the 58th minute that gave the Vikings their first win. As Caden Sherwood on for Simon Fraser, and for the Vikings, it's Ashley Nguyen and Micah Carr who had the brace on Thursday. A couple of brilliant finishes with the left foot. Set piece will roll to Trengov. Carr scored in this match between these teams last year. She had the equalizer. So 3 of Carr's 4 career goals have come in the GNAC championships. It's a player that knows how to show up when her number is called. It was on Thursday, and she came through brilliantly. The most recent meeting between the teams, October 19th, it was a late goal from Emily Holdridge, 80th minute. That was the difference. Ava Esslinger, who's fresh into the match, being tested there, and it's off her head. Simon with the first corner of the afternoon. Western is sure to have watched the film from Thursday and seen what Kira Scott did on the corner kick on which she scored. Not on the field at the moment. The cross is towards the 6. Muzzolini closing fast, and Beardencroft was looking up for an outlet pass. Now Muzzolini confidently won by Connell. Confidently won again by the center back. Caden Sherwood dispossessed by Eslinger. Now Micah Carr on the ball. Looking for Manalili. She's in, but can't get it on target. Lowen was off her line. Lowen was caught in between. Came out for it, realized Manalili would be there first, but didn't quite have the touch that time, did Morgan. The danger of each of these teams just arrives so quickly. 1 second, Carr's got the ball near the sideline. The next, Manalili's trying to tuck it into an open net. And now some fancy dribbling to get past Muzzolini. Manalili. And the offside flag will raise on Sophie Beardencroft that time. Nine shots in the half for Western Washington. 5 for Simon Fraser, but it's been now 15 minutes since the Red Leafs last generated a look towards goal. Clark with the arm into Manalili's back that time. Abby Succi fires it right back into the box, and Lowen will catch and hold. Muzzolini on the run. Can she keep it in? She does. Looking for McKenzie. Harden's there. Important step from Asia Harden. So much speed from Muzzolini. Noel looked to be there and win that ball, but Isabella just able to keep it in play. Trengov will send this ball past the midfield line. Cartier going out wide to Caden Sherwood. One-on-one with the freshman Eslinger. Gets around her. The cross is low. McKenzie. All she could do was try the back heel touch. Couldn't quite get the timing right. But a dangerous cross right in front of the goal mouth. Keisha Musket checks in. She'll throw it in. And Audrey Holdridge, the twin sister of Emily, onto the pitch for the first time in the championship match. Hallie Noel will get the final 7:45 minutes to rest up. Too much contact for the referee's liking there as Audrey Holdridge went to the turf. The Vikings have had a number of these set pieces that are near the attacking third. Another opportunity to send this ball into a dangerous area. It'll be Abby Succi to take. Curled, and Lowen will catch it on a hop. Emily Smith, the GNAC Defensive Player of the Year. Looking to go long for Reagan McKenzie. Vikings with possession once again. Ashley Wynn. Cartier. Clever ball. Can Sherwood get there, or will it be Asia Harden? Sherwood with the cross. McKenzie taps it, and a save from Trengov. McKenzie, the follow-up saved. Abigail Trengov comes through in her first big moment. Denying McKenzie not once but twice. Now Simon with its best scoring chance coming right before halftime. Elise Baudry linking with Richardson and then Alyssa Clark, who looks forward. Under 5 to go before the break. The Vikings had a goal in the final 5 of the first half and the first 5 of the second half on Thursday. Travis Cannell saying timing of the goals was everything. It totally derailed the momentum that Western Oregon had, and it looked like an entirely different match after Western Washington had taken the lead. Cartier is clipped by Audrey Holdridge in the corner. Sarah Caravata. A curling ball that's too long for Caden Sherwood. Caravata had an assist in last year's title tilt. Manalil Emily controls beautifully. What touch. Like a car. Can't beat Emily Smith to it, but it's a corner kick. Simon scored on a corner kick Thursday, so did Western Washington. It was Olivia Connell who makes her way into an attacking position. Ashley Nguyen to provide the service. Here's Nguyen. It's ripped right through the box. The way she hit it, have to think maybe she was looking to put it on frame. Simon Fraser in no hurry to put this back in, being in a defensive position, trying to nudge this game into halftime. Throw in one for the Vikings. Keisha Musket. As the clock at Interbay Stadium ticks under 1 minute. Now Ashley Nguyen. Is there one more chance before halftime? Micah Carr running on, but there's Lowen. It's been a steady diet of long balls over the top from Western Washington. Lowen's had the ball in her hands more often than not this afternoon. Carr putting her under. Ten seconds. Mazzolini will clear it up. Nothing between the teams after 45 minutes. It's been a thrilling championship final. 17 shots combined. Close misses by both sides. But we're scoreless. 0-0. We'll take a break and have first half analysis coming up live on GNAC TV. 45 minutes down, 45 to go to decide the 2024 GNAC Women's Soccer Championships title. No score yet between Simon Fraser and Western Washington, but my goodness, what a half of chances for both of these teams. 10 shots for the Vikings, pushing Sarah Lowen to make 7 saves. She's already equaled her total from Thursday's semifinal shutout. And 7 shots the other way for Simon Fraser. Just a couple of saves for Abigail Trengov. Red Leafs not hitting the target with the frequency the Vikings did in the first half, but surely a couple of very close point-blank chances for each side. Balls that could have easily gone in, but didn't. So here we are with 45 to go. Now that it's postseason play, overtime is back into effect. If we're still tied after 90 minutes, it'll be 2 10-minute periods of golden goal overtime. And if it's still tied after that, on to a penalty kick shootout. So just about a minute away from second half action. And if the second half is anything like the first, we're in for a great championship finish. Simon Fraser looking to make it back-to-back tournament titles. Got their first ever GNAC Women's Soccer Trophy last year. The Vikings are looking for tournament trophy number 7. They've also got 10 regular season trophies up in Bellingham. Who will it be with the breakthrough? Impossible to know, with chances abound for both sides. The Vikings will have the kickoff to take us home here at Interbay Stadium. Championship finals. "45 minutes to decide a champion." It's been a physical match. Plenty of fouls both ways. Good win there from Kate Cartier, always on the ball. Low and calmly. Back out to Kate Smith. Richardson can't get there down the flank. Lopez and Kira Scott working together. But Mia Cairns ends up with it at her foot. Trying to release Kirsten McGuffey. She's in a foot race with Elise Baudry, who steps in and gets the ball, but it's a Viking throw-in near the corner. Keisha Musket getting the second half start puts us back into play. And then wins it over Mussolini. McGuffey's on again. Cartier standing her up and winning the ball. Cairns. McGuffey beats Baudry. The shot is wide. McGuffey led the GNAC with 8 goals this year. Coaches agreeing on the GNAC Newcomer of the Year award. Transfer from College of St. Rose, where she led that team to a national title match appearance a couple of years ago. Here's Katie Richardson. Vikings dealing with a threat before Kira Scott could turn around in the goal box. Ashley Nguyen. And Clark is mowed over near the midfield line. McGuffey jumping at Lowen. And Emily Smith is tripped up. Alyssa Clark in the midfield looking to play. Kira Scott long, and she's open in the box. Scott, and she scores! Kira Scott for the 3rd time this weekend with the left foot inside the far post. And Simon Fraser takes a championship match lead. The vision from Alyssa Clark in the midfield, playing Kira Scott into miles of space, and the composure by the number 9 with Trengov closing the angle to keep it on frame and in the back of the net. Now, how do the Vikings respond? They did so beautifully on Thursday when facing a 1-0 deficit. Racing back to not tie but take the lead and run away with the win. Can they do the same now with 40 minutes to go? First time that Simon Fraser has scored against Western Washington since this match a year ago when Reagan McKenzie won it late. The Vikings taking both tilts between the sides during the regular season, 1-0 each time. So for the first time this year, Simon's got a lead. Tricky one to deal with for Emily Smith there. McGuffey trying to get it on her foot. And it looked like such a goal-scoring opportunity, didn't it, for Kira Scott? But so difficult to finish it. Keep the composure, keep it on frame. But she's been doing it all week for the Red Leafs. Musket had her cross deflected out. Cartier grabbing the lower back. After taking a stinger there. Vikings keeping possession in the corner. Scott now with 7 goals on the season. She leads the team as that ball over the end line off the foot of McGuffey. 7 goals for Scott. That's also second most in the conference. She's now 1 behind McGuffey for the league lead. Simon Fraser did well on Thursday to see out a match they led 1-0 at halftime, dealt with Western Oregon, and then Scott found a late brace to put the victory to bed. We'll see what their approach is against a very dangerous Western Washington team here. Scott, a sophomore, earning second-team All-League honors this fall. Clark. Scott looking for Muzzolini that time. Composure there from Kate Smith to play it to her sister Emily. McGuffey was closing. Now she wins it off her back. Some numbers here for Western Washington. Muzzolini steps and wins the ball off McGuffey. But she keeps it in the cross of the back post, and Emily Holdridge was closing just over her head. Keisha Musket. Good push there from Western Washington. Hallie Noel sending it back in. The Red Leafs desperately trying to clear it, but only do as well as earning a throw-in in the defensive third. Katie Richardson trying to shield Holdridge, but the freshman gets the cross away. Still not out of danger. Musket didn't get all of that one. Tricky try on the first time. And ends up being an easy save for Lowen. But the Vikings pressing. Mussolini stood up by Jane Mira. Fans thought that Mussolini had a little push there. Cartier can look forward. And why not try and pick out the red-hot Kira Scott? Pass deflected, though. Little space to work with here for SFU. Mussolini tried to catch Holdridge, but the Red Leafs just a bit out of position. Lydia Myers shielded by Kate Smith. And it's a corner for Western Washington. Ashley Nguyen to provide the service. Towards the far post. Headed by Mia Cairns and deflected out. From the other side, it'll be Hallie Noel. All 11 SFU players in the box. Heavy defending. High arcing cross. Cairns lets it roll out. This time a goal kick. Cairns was certain it'd be another corner. Could have easily gotten to it, but electing to let it roll for a corner kick and then looked up and sent a referee pointing towards the 6-yard box. Caden Sherwood coming on, and Michaela Tupper checks out after the first 14 minutes of the second half. Emily Rice, meanwhile, to the back line for Western Washington, replacing Keisha Musket, who had the most recent of the Vikings' 13 shots in this match. Only one this half for SFU, but it wound up in the back of the net off the left foot of Kira Scott. Cartier clears the line for the Red Leafs. And Trengov sends it booming back down. Vikings with possession. It's Ashley Nguyen. Low cross, out for a corner. Vikings searching for an equalizer. To the far post. Cairns knocked it down. Cartier trying to clear. It's still loose. Connell blocked. And Cartier gets her foot through it that time. Similar to how Olivia Connell scored on Thursday. A ball rattling around that she got her foot to. That time, SFU closing it down quickly. It's Sarah Caravata replacing who, to this point, has been the most impactful player of the tournament, Kira Scott. Mia Cairns finds Jane Humira, now Kirsten McGuffey. Lydia Myers just a step too far that time in an offside position. Fourth offside in this championship match, drawn by the SFU back line. Cartier just a little too strong for Caden Sherwood to run onto that time. More reinforcements for the Vikings. It's Morgan Manalili and Sophie Bearden-Croft coming back to the attack. Cartier with a little bit of room. Referee urging Katie Richardson to get on with the throw-in. Emily Rice does it bounce over her head? Not quite. Nice job to recover with Caden Sherwood right there. Ariella Lopez. Size advantage on Asia Harden, but the junior first team defender handling that battle like a pro there, winning it. Simon forced to move backwards. Cartier got tangled up with Jane Humira. Free kick to the Vikings, who will play quickly. McGuffey. Manalili tries the left-footed shot. Now plays it through. Myers is onside. McGuffey looked to be just in an offside position, but Myers certainly was on there. Red Leafs were looking to the assistant referee for yet another offside, but good decision that time to let it play on. There's Hallie Noel reading the ball from Lowen, and the Vikings putting the pressure right back on. Manalili shielded by Muzzolini for a goal kick. Kate Smith looking for help. Bearden-Croft chasing her down. So the Red Leafs, much like they did on Thursday, trying to slow the pace of the game down, dictate it, and make it hard for the Vikings to generate momentum offensively. That's the goal for SFU. Worked out 2 evenings ago against the Seattle Pacific team that couldn't find the back of the net. Myers looking for McGuffey. Now Caden Sherwood finds it on her foot, racing forward. No one in the center of the pitch for SFU. Red Leafs with possession now. Cartier dances around and wins the ball back. Travis Cannell waving the arm, urging his team forward. Trying to keep the energy level high for Western Washington. Still plenty of time. But they trail 1-0 in the title match. Rice winning possession for the Vikings. Will work it back through Harden and then Connell. The referee stopping the clock as Sarah Caravata tying her shoe. Referees are instructed this year to use their discretion, particularly late in matches when the team has a narrow lead. Use discretion as to when to stop the clock and do so more frequently if they feel necessary. The element of time wasting being a central point of focus for the soccer coaches during the off season. Some rules being put into place to prevent that as much as possible, as you saw right there. Here's Hallie Noel. Good cross, and McGuffey just didn't quite fall to her. She was open. The cross ending up about waist high, however, in a crowded box. Connell was looking to get it all the way to McGuffey. Instead, Bearden-Croft cut it off. Will there be another heroic moment for Micah Carr? She's back on. McGuffey comes off, surely, only temporarily. So much magic in the foot of Micah Carr on Thursday. Will she rescue her team here? Under 20 minutes to go now. For SFU, it's Reagan McKenzie back on. And Caitlin Magdalinsky. Caden Sherwood and Dariela Lopez checking out. SFU getting maybe just a touch more defensive here. Another deep throw in for Western Washington. Bearden-Croft with a little space. Curls it. Lowen gets there. Will it be a corner? Instead, a foul is called. Myers, just a little bit too much contact with Lowen. Lowen's been the anchor. Remarkable performance all tournament long. 7 saves Thursday in the shutout of Seattle Pacific. 8 more already this match, and SFU has needed them. Harden. That time Cartier pushing into Jane Mira. Cairns had thoughts of playing it quickly, but the referee making her move the ball back into the Vikings half where the foul occurred. Cloudy afternoon, but it has stayed dry for the majority of the match. With some rainfall earlier, nothing too heavy. Temperatures hovering in the upper 40s, lower 50s. And the referee stopping the clock once again. Having a word with the Simon Fraser sideline, asking why. But this is... Now the referees are going to have a discussion with the table here. There may be some time adjusted on the clock. Having a talk now with Elise Beaudry before the throw-in. And the clock set to 16:50. Good job by the center referee to control the time. It's so important in the college game. It doesn't count upwards. The referee doesn't have that discretion. It runs out and the game's over. So the Coaches Association has asked referees to be conscious of that. Anything that is deemed to be excessively delaying a match by a team winning, and the way Simon is now, should be dealt with. The other rule associated with that is anytime the winning team substitutes under 15 minutes to go, the clock automatically stops, so that threshold is nearly met. Great step from Emily Rice. She can push forward. And Clark tripped up Jane Mira. And stopping the clock again, the referee. Cairns to play a long ball towards the box. There's Hallie Noel winning the throw-in. Manalili looking for room. And Lowen's there. She has owned that 6-yard box and collects another cross. Under 15 minutes to go. The Vikings looking, searching for a championship moment. They must find the back of the net. Richardson does well to deal with it. Reagan McKenzie now shielding and winning possession for SFU. Now Lydia Myers. Manalili head up. Into the box, but offside is Bearden Croft. That SFU back line totally in sync. It helps when two of them are related. Kate Smith and Emily Smith, the sisters, seemingly operating as one to step forward. That's 5 offside now for the Vikings this afternoon. Shaping up to be a memorable final 13 minutes as the clock stops for this double sub for SFU and the re-entry of Emily Holdridge up top for the Vikings. Scott back on, along with Michaela Tupper. Surely they've been instructed to do their part defensively. As the Red Leafs try and see this one out. Far from over. Holdridge, can she keep it in? She can, but Emily Smith there. And the ball all the way through to Katie Richardson, who clears the line. And Muzzolini, the first to it. Simon doing just enough right now. Just enough to hold this 1-0 lead. Asia Harden. Manalili was looking for Emily Rice. Wide, a Tupper step forward. Mia Cairns in the center of the pitch. Cairns lofting the cross towards the back post. Carr, and the offside flag is up once again. Manalili pushed the shot wide, but wouldn't have mattered. Cartier shoved in the back that time to win the free kick. Harden wins the header. And Cairns gets it wide to Micah Carr. But there's Kate Cartier. Tupper keeps her feet. Haven't been many chances forward for SFU, but here's one as Harden clears it away. Simon has been focusing on defending, but will surely try to take some time here with a deep throw-in. Dariela Lopez back onto the pitch, and Kirsten McGuffey back in for Western Washington. "80 minutes gone at Interbay Stadium. Simon Fraser is close now to back-to-back GNAC Championships titles. Still a mile of work to do, however. It's only been done twice. Seattle Pacific in 2013 and 14, and then Western Washington 3 in a row from 2015 to 17. Simon trying to join those two GNAC perennial powers and put its name in that category. Will they see this one out, or will Western Washington find a late equalizer? Over the top, Connell, so trusty on the back line, so strong all year. Wins it calmly to Hardin there. Now Manalili. Holdridge. Couldn't get there. Some fancy footwork from Elise Beaudry. Scott was dispossessed by Mia Cairns. Noel couldn't handle it. Richardson, the captain, helping deliver last year's title. You know, another one would mean the World Tour. Can McGuffey keep it in? She can. Simon streaking back. Holdridge running towards the corner. Beaudry, with two Vikings approaching, has to clear it wide. Western Washington pushing numbers forward now. Clark steps to clear it away from McGuffey. Slow to get up. Kate Cartier will just play it long towards the sideline. The clock ticking down now on Western Washington. They'll need to find one soon. They've done it before this season. At the very last second, Bearden-Croft, an equalizer against Seattle Pacific. This Western Washington team never out of a match, whether there's 6 minutes left or 30 seconds. Myers. Topper 1-2 with Dariela Lopez. Manalili all the way back in the defensive third. The winner of this match earning the automatic berth into next week's regional championships. Simon trying to get back for the second straight year. The Vikings last in the NCAA playoffs 2 years ago when they won the whole thing. 2022 national champions. There is confidence that Western Washington's resume still would be strong enough, even in defeat today, to get into the regional with an at-large bid, but the only thing that guarantees it is a victory right here, right now. At the moment, that lies in the hands of SFU, but still 5 minutes left in the title match. Every touch so important now. Neither side can afford a mistake. Richardson won't be in a hurry. The referee hawking to make sure there will be no time wasting. Scott had her leg clipped. Alyssa Clark will provide the service here. What a tournament she's had. 3 assists on the 3 goals from Kira Scott. Kate Smith blasts it towards the corner. Should go out of play as Tupper runs out of room. Trengov with the utmost urgency. Vikings gotta go. Howie Noel. Nobody there but white jerseys in the middle. Hardin will play it long, but headed by Elise Baudry. 3 minutes away is SFU from another trophy. Surely there's another chance in it, though, for Western Washington here late. Got to believe this Viking offense capable of generating something. Cartier stops it in its tracks. And blasted away by Elise Baudry. She's been fantastic this weekend. The SFU newcomer. The frustration settling in a bit on the throw in there for Western Washington. Seconds ticking away. They need possession. Can they find it? Manalili stood up by Cartier, who sends it back to Abigail Trengov. 90 seconds and counting. Manalili a chance to push forward, but it's over and in, and it's into the hands of Sarah Lowen, who's been superb. 15 saves in 2 matches. Baudry lets it run out. We'll pick it up and throw it in. Can the Vikings muster one more chance? Manalili crosses. But the offside flag, as it has been so many times, up again, doesn't matter. As Mussolini can take this ball to the corner and surely now win the match for Simon Fraser. It's the freshman Dariela Lopez with the final touch. And for the second straight year, it's the Simon Fraser Red Leafs who are the GNAC tournament champions. Kira Scott, 3 goals in 2 matches. Sarah Lowen, 2 shutouts. And Simon Fraser at its best yet again. They're the winners, 1-0 over Western Washington, and SFU punching its ticket back into the NCAA tournament. We thank you for joining us on GNAC TV. Make sure to check GNACsports.com for the latest of women's soccer news, highlights, and more. For the GNAC, I'm Evan O'Kelly saying so long, and glad you were able to join us for another thrilling championship match.
attention to midfield, where we will honor the 2024 GNAC Women's Soccer Championships All Tournament Team. All Tournament Team. From Western Oregon forward, Sierra Garcia. From Western Washington, defender Olivia Connell. From Western Washington, midfielder Micah Carr. And from Western Washington, forward Emily Aldridge. From Simon Fraser, goalkeeper Sarah Lowen. From Simon Fraser, defender Elise Beaudry. From Simon Fraser, midfielder Kate Cartier. From Simon Fraser, midfielder Alyssa Clark. And from Simon Fraser, defender Emily Smith. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 GNAC Women's Soccer Championships Most Valuable Player. From Simon Fraser, a forward, Kiera Scott. Team and our 2024 MVP, the Red Leafs, Kiera Scott. to our champion, Simon Fraser, University Red League. We would like to thank Seattle Pacific University for hosting the 2024 GNAC Women's Soccer Championship. And fans, we would like to thank you for attending the 2024 GNAC Women's Soccer Championship.